So now, don't you hate that term? Oh, anybody can teach. I hate that term. What they mean is anybody can talk about what they're good at. That's what they really mean. Now let's reverse the question. Can anyone facilitate learning with a diverse group of students? And you know the answer to that. You absolutely cannot. Anything short of a professional educator, it is very difficult to get that job done. So our question becomes, what is a professional educator? Well, same as a professional nurse, professional welder, or professional whatever. It's committed to constant and never-ending improvement. Lifelong learner, growth mindset, whatever you want to go by. But if we're not constantly learning, then we don't fall into that category. So we need professional educators. Now this sounds like something going on today, doesn't it? Teaching's finally going to matter. This was 75 years ago. This stuff is not new. They've been talking about it for decades. We can go back to the Nation at Risk report in 1983. It very clearly delineated what needed to go on in this country. We were slipping in education. We were once number 1 on the planet and now number 16. So we were warned decades before. And these reports were produced every decade, culminated in the 2012 report, Reclaiming the American Dream. How many have actually read that Reclaiming the American Dream report? Raise your hand. Super. If you don't read any other article this year, go back and read the 21st Century Report on Reclaiming the American Dream. It very clearly states what the problems in this country are, and how we're going to solve those problems, and the challenges needed to do that. It clarifies the mission and the student. Now, we say, well, does it say anything different than the previous reports decades earlier? It actually doesn't. But what it did, they just cranked up the adjectives a little bit. Instead of having a redesign, a dramatic redesign. Now, we know how education goes. We don't handle little change well. You want to have a dramatic redesign? You already have people breaking out in hives. Professional development focused relentlessly on student success. Total transformation. We don't even like that word. In instructional strategies. Unacceptably low student attainment gaps. And when you say things like to remain open access, virtually everything else has to change, we kind of get a scope of the problem here. And then my favorite, courageously end ineffective teaching strategies. They've been saying ineffective teaching strategies for years. It's just now they threw on the word courageously because they realized it just wasn't happening. So understand one thing. It does not take a skill to implement a new strategy in the classroom. It doesn't. It takes courage because you've got to step out of that comfort zone. But it does not take a skill. The skill is in taking that strategy and then assessing it, reevaluating, adjusting it a little bit, going back and re-implement. That's where the skill comes in. So courageously end. Now, I'll make the analogy with swimming. Let's say we took 30 students to the swimming pool, never swam before in their life, maybe never even been in the water. And we get to the swimming pool, and what we do is we just push them all in the water. And then we stand on the side of the pool, and we say, you're not motivated enough now, you're not trying hard enough. Did you read that PowerPoint I gave you yesterday? You didn't even do the homework, did you? You better start trying more. And lo and behold, 15 of them swim to the side of the pool and get out. Now, historically, would we not? We'd hang our hat on those 15, would we? Hey, what a great job of teaching we did. Look here, I got 15 students learning how to swim. They've never swam before in their life. And we never once looked back at the bottom of the pool thinking, is that something we could have done for those 15? You think maybe we could change our strategy a little bit and maybe got a couple more successful? And we know the answer. It's a rhetorical question. Of course we could have. Maybe it would have required us getting in the pool and getting wet with them. Maybe it required us holding their hand to get them through the motions just to get them started. But absolutely we could, because we're not dealing with students who physically can't swim. Because see, I can't don't mean I'm incapable. I hear students say it all the time, oh, I can't do math. Well, I don't mean we're incapable. I can't skate either, but I'm not physically incapable of skating. You see what I mean? And we're not dealing with students who are mentally incapable of learning either. Not a one of them that walk through our door are mentally incapable of learning. They have issues, and they have problems, they have challenges. But the continued use, and we're just going to shoot it straight today, the continued use of ineffective teaching strategies are the most destructively discriminatory practice going on in this country today because it hinders upward economic mobility for those who need it the most. And that is the core of the mission of the community college. We don't make any excuses about that. We're not University of Alabama, we're not Auburn. If we could pick one, we'd probably pick University of Alabama, but we're not either one. We're a community college. That's what we do. Joe Frazier fought Muhammad Ali for the third bout, and there's a reason they don't do 15-round bouts anymore. Just watch Muhammad Ali and you'll know. They don't do those. It's too brutal. Joe Frazier came out of the last third match with Muhammad Ali, knots all over his head, his eyes were almost swollen shut. The reporter, he's about ready, needed to retire probably. Reporter saying, Joe, I don't understand it. Why do you keep boxing? And Joe looked right at him and said, because I'm a boxer. That's what I do. We're community college instructors. This is what we do. We take the least advantaged, the least prepared, we take them from where they are and we provide them a high quality education, and we don't do that using ineffective teaching strategies. It can't be done.